I'm Tanya from Claude Business Services and Tanya's Bookkeepers Bootcamp, where I help accounting pros maximize their potential with confidence and efficiency. Welcome to AI in Action. Each week, I'm breaking down real use case scenarios, showing you what works, what to avoid, and how to make AI work for you in your practice. So in other words, how AI amplifies us, not replaces us. So this week, we're going to dig into something that I just came across today, and I thought, well, let's see what Claude can do with this, and it was pretty darn cool. Definitely saved some time and frustration. So in this situation, we have a client who is property management, and they're not understanding the flow. So Sandra in my team is the one been dealing with this. I thought we had it all worked out, but apparently the client decided to do some changes that make sense for them. And as we're going through the year end, we're like, the rent clearing account or rents held in trust is not balancing. She had several conversations with the client, and they were still butting heads, so to speak, and not getting it. So I used my whisper flow, which I love. So I just speak right into this. You don't have to have whisper flow to do this. You can talk into it as well. Use the voice mode. But I use whisper flow to talk to everything. So, but that's another AI in Action series. So you can see here what I put in. I just spoke in my normal language. I like to do that because it gets the full picture out. I can speak faster than I can type. And when I type, I tend to type almost in a shorthand. So I tend to leave out some of the context if I'm typing. So that's why I prefer to talk. So, and it's also going to help Claude learn me, or any AI learn me and what I'm looking for, so it can start to anticipate. And I like that. So it teaches it better. So here's what I put in. The client's not understanding. I think I know where the problem is. I think he is not putting in the rent received because he says it's not a sale, it's in trust. And we're trying to explain to him that you have to count everything, money in, money out, otherwise it won't balance. So I've just put this in. Client's arguing with me. We need to do this. How will this sort? Here's what I think the problem is. And then all of a sudden it hit me. I'm like, hang on. If I upload the whole GL, can you help me to see and confirm what piece is missing? So here's Claude. Great diagnosis. Yes, uploading the full GL would absolutely help pinpoint the missing piece. So let's lay out the framework so we have the explanation for the client as well. So, and what I did is I attached a screenshot of one invoice as a sample. So the invoice shows the fees, the cleaning, here's the total, and then a note showing total rent received is this. So essentially, this is the money received, this is the money paid to the client, or sorry, this is the money kept, the difference is sent to the client. But the difference is in a note, not anywhere else. So that's completely missing from the piece. So I always say, give this just to us for somebody who's in a grade 10, a high schooler who really doesn't understand. So here's a really good explanation. Money in, money out, it needs to be recorded. It's not all sales. Here's the correct flow for that. The liability account should zero out. Here's the Buildium connection. So that's great. So in the meantime, I hadn't uploaded the GL yet. So it gave me, this is what we think. Here it is. Yes, upload the GL. So I pulled the full GL for all dates, which is about a year and a half, put it in there, and it says, okay, great. Now I have a clear picture. It took about 10 minutes to analyze, but now we can say for certain. Here is the gap. Here is the missing piece. And here's the smoking gun. Just one of these examples. And here's what a doc includes for the client. So what this did is this actually gave me an accounting review document, which I'm going to show you here now, which was very cool. I saw this on the side. I've opened it right here and taken the client's name out. Let's just move. There we go. Make me smaller and move that. So here it is, property management. It's gone through. Here's basically a ledger review. Here's everything. Here's the core problem. Here's all of this, specific issues found. So this was really cool, the detail it gave back. And I've looked at this and I've verified that, yes, this is correct. So you know, it goes through the problem, the note on the building integration, and I'm like, oh, this rocks. So then I've said, okay, so is this document something I can send to the client so it's already explained in a way the client understands? I understand this. I don't think the client's going to get all of this. Or do we need to change it? Or should, you know, we simply add in a grade 10 explanation in the email and say, here's the breakdown. What do you recommend? So Claude said, don't send it as is. I'm going to recommend we give them their own email. And I said, yes, please draft up an email. But I also saw today that Claude can create flowcharts. It's something new, which is really cool and can help with people that are not visual, or sorry, that are visual. And that will help with people that are visual. So I said, yes, if you need to show a mind map or a flowchart, that might be something great to add. So first, here's a little, you know, the flowchart that's built. Here's what's supposed to happen. Here's what's missing. Here's the email to the client. Very, very straightforward on this. And then here's a one-pager explainer doc for the client as well, which I will show you. So I can give the client the email. I can give the client the, here it is. I can give the client the email. I can give the client the flowchart. And then here is a very quick explainer to the client in, again, grade 10 terms. Here's what should be happening. Here's what's happening now. Here's how we're going to fix it together. And it's a recording gap. It's fixable. Process set up correctly. So this was absolutely wonderful to help us with something that we were not able to explain properly and we're struggling over. This was able to go in, pinpoint it, because the client handles that part. We don't handle that part. So what the client tells us he's doing and what he was doing were two different things. So that's a wonderful way to be able to use this. So there you have it. AI working with you, not against you. So remember, our expertise, our judgment, and client relationships, those are irreplaceable. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. And share this with a fellow accounting pro who needs to hear it. We're all navigating this AI shift together, and the more we share what works, the stronger our profession becomes. Want to dive deeper? Head over to bookkeepersbootcamp.ca. We've got training, coaching, and a community of accounting pros who are mastering this together. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep showing the world what accounting professionals are really capable of. This is Tanya signing off. See you next week.